We're going to invite the president of Korea Institute of Science and Technology Evaluation and Planning and former vice minister of the Ministry of Science and ICT, Taeseog. He will give us his keynote speech titled Shifting SDI Policy for Technology-Driven Growth. During his tenure as Vice Minister of the Ministry of Science and ICT, President Oh played an essential role in setting the direction of Korea's science and technology policy and enhancing its global competitiveness. Please welcome him with a big hand.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, good morning. It's a great honor to give a keynote address at this very important international forum. The title of my speech is Shifting SDI Policy for Technology-Driven Growth. As president of KISTEP, I am excited to share how Korea is rethinking and reshaping its policies on science and technology innovation to meet today's challenges and to seize tomorrow's opportunities. Korea has long been recognized for its remarkable achievements in research and development. Our strong investment in science and technology has played a key role in driving the nation's rapid economic growth and has positioned Korea among the world's leading economies. However, as we all know, the global innovation landscape is evolving. New uncertainties, structural challenges, and notably intensifying technological rivalry between the United States and China make us take a fresh look at our strategy. So today I would like to give an overview of Korea's current R&D and innovation system and introduce the new policy direction or new focus of Lee Jae-myung administration. Let me start with a topic central to Korea's remarkable economic rise, our strong commitment to R&D investment, and the tangible outputs it has produced. Korea consistently ranks among the highest levels of R&D intensity worldwide. Our gross domestic expenditure on R&D reached 4.96% of GDP in 2023. This places Korea as the second highest globally in terms of R&D investment relative to the size of our economy. Our R&D performance has steadily improved both in quantity and in quality, as reflected clearly in the international scientific outputs. The graph on the left side shows the number of publications by Korean researchers in leading scientific journals. The consistent upward trend demonstrates Korea's scientists are not only active, but are also successfully competing at the forefront of global science. The graph on the right side illustrates the average citation impact of Korea research papers over a 5-year period. The data shows a steady increase, indicating research from Korea is being cited more frequently by peers worldwide. Together, these trends, a strong R&D investment and continuous growth of research performance provide solid evidence of Korea's robust science and technology base. One of the main issues in science and technology STI policy is rising instability in government R&D investment. Between 2020 and 2023, the total R&D budget kept increasing, as we see. However, the government's priorities shifted from year to year. In 2020, following Japan's export controls on semiconductor materials, the government prioritized domestic development of materials, parts, and equipment to reduce the supply chain risks in key industries. In 2021, attention turned to pandemic response and public health. In 2024, the emphasis shifted to increase of global R&D. While each policy made sense in that context, the rapid and frequent changes signaled the lack of consistent strategy. This instability worsened in the transition from 2023 to 2024, when Korea's government R&D budget was not only reallocated, but cut by 14%. This sharp reduction damaged trust within the research community and raised concerns about the predictability of long-term science and technology investments. This challenge underscores the need for Korea to ensure not only sufficient resources, but also stability and a long-term commitment in R&D policy. Frequent shifts and funding fluctuations make it difficult to build trust, foster collaboration, and achieve meaningful breakthroughs. Today, I'm very happy to see my old colleague, Mario Cervantes, from the OECD Secretariat. We worked together in Paris almost 19 years ago. I remember that we conducted a review on a police innovation policy at the time. OECD published a comprehensive review report on Korea's innovation system. I think these offer a balanced assessment of our innovation landscape. They gave us many recommendations needed to improve our system. Now, I would like to mention some areas of improvement highlighted in OECD publications. OECD continues to point to the persistent gap between the large firms and small and medium-sized enterprises, and recommend need to narrow the gap. It also recommended developing stronger linkages between universities, GRIs, government research institute, and business. And also enhancing performance of GRIs in line with their missions and strengthening interministerial strategy in order to improve the efficiency of R&D policy, implementation, and evaluation. Nowadays, Korea profound reality, we call it complex crisis that combines demographic decline with the lack of a clear future growth engine. On the left side of the slide, you can see the trend of Korea's potential growth rate from 2001 through 2026. 2 decades ago, Korea's potential growth rate was around 5%, but it has steadily fallen, and it is projected to drop to around 2% by 2026. The breakdown of this potential growth rate reveals a more concerning picture. Total factor productivity has dropped from 2.1% to just 0.7%. At the same time, labor input has also decreased from 0.7% to 0.2%. This means Korea is losing productivity gains while also experiencing a shrinking labor force. The challenges I've outlined are not temporary fluctuations. They represent a deeper, more structural transformation, sending clear warning signals about the future of Korea's economy. On the left side, we see the long-term projection of Korea's potential growth rate. By 2060, this rate is expected to fall to 0. So without a bold corrective action, Korea could face a prolonged period of stagnation. This projection is more than just a number. It is a stark signal of the risks ahead if we fail to adapt. Did you watch the military parade in Beijing and in China yesterday? I wonder what you think. The dramatic shifts in geopolitical landscape has combined to bring Xi Jinping, Vladimir Putin, and Kim Jong-un together. It is unclear what will happen next. What is certain is that the geopolitical environment around the Korean Peninsula has become increasingly uncertain. It makes it difficult to predict even the near future. Anyway, the international trade order is experiencing great disruption, largely driven by the United States. Global supply chains are being reshaped, protectionism on the rise, international market stability can no longer be taken for granted. For an export-oriented economy like Korea's, this turbulence presents a significant vulnerability. The rise of China is increasingly impacting Korea's core industries. Sectors where Korea once led, such as petrochemicals, displays, and steelmaking, are now face steep competition from China's rapid progress. The rising uncertainty has led many Korean firms to prioritize short-term performance over long-term innovation. This shift is understandable in a volatile environment, but poses serious risks for the future. The graph on the left side shows how investment in long-term research, especially basic research, has always been relatively limited in the private sector. What is most concerning is that these already insufficient investment are now declining further. Firms that once committed to exploratory or foundational science are pulling back, redirecting resources towards projects with faster, more immediate returns. On the right side, the trend appears even sharper. Since 2025, corporate R&D investments dropped significantly, with many firms scaling back. As a result, Korea's corporate sector is failing to secure the core technologies essential for competing with the global leaders in advanced industries. This is why government must not only provide stable funding to get things started, but also send strong signals and incentives so that the private sector sustains, even expands its commitment to research and innovation. The challenges I have described so far all lead to the one conclusion: Korea urgently needs new breakthroughs. These breakthroughs cannot come from incremental steps alone. They must be driven by R&D and innovation, I think. We need stronger connections between R&D and innovation policy. Too often, research outputs remain disconnected from broader innovation goals. Achieving this requires better coordination among research institutions, industry, and government, and to move scientific advances smoothly along the innovation pathway. In addition, we must enhance industrial competitiveness through R&D and innovation. The goal is not research for its own sake, but research that empowers our industries to compete globally. At the bottom of this slide, you can see a simple diagram illustrating the pathway. R&D generates science output. When these are effectively linked with the commercialization and innovation policies, they are transformed into economic and social outcomes. This is the virtuous cycle we must build and sustain, despite the many barriers and obstacles at each stage. In short, Korea's path forward lies not in avoiding risk, but in embracing R&D innovation as the engines of a transformation. Through this approach, Korea can achieve the breakthroughs needed to overcome current challenges. In Korea, a new president was inaugurated in this June. Now, I would like to turn our attention to the new path forward, the bold vision of Lee Jae-myung administration. At the core of the government's economic and innovation agenda lies the true growth strategy. This strategy is designed to deliver growth that is real, sustainable, and inclusive, strengthening both our economy and our society. To realize this vision, the government has set ambitious yet clear national goals to become one of the world's top 3 AI powers, and to achieve and sustain a 3% potential growth rate, and to establish Korea as one of the top 5 global powers. This vision is built on the 3 guiding pillars: technology-driven growth, growth for all, equitable growth. Let me now turn to the first of these pillars, technology-driven growth. The vision of technology-driven growth is clear. Korea seeks to rise as a global leader through technology. To achieve this, the new administration has identified 5 strategic directions. We must fully embrace the AI era. Artificial intelligence is transforming every industry and every part of our daily life. Korea must adapt to the transformation boldly to stay competitive on the global stage. Second, we'll build future industries while upgrading our core sectors and advancing the energy transition. This means nurturing emerging industries and modernizing manufacturing and accelerating, ensuring the shift to clean energy. Third, we'll foster an innovation ecosystem driven by science and technology. Innovation cannot be happening in isolation. It requires strong connections between government, research institutions, industry, and society. Fourth, we must cultivate innovative talent through education reform. The last, we aim to expand our economy while diversifying our supply chains. In today's world of geopolitical uncertainty, building resilience and reducing dependence through supply chain diversification are vital to secure stability and sustain growth. In line with the new administration's key policy directions and its focus on technology-led growth, significant changes are announced for science and technology innovation policies. Today, I will highlight the major policy changes that can be shared at this time I already mentioned. As discussed earlier, one of the most pressing issues within Korea's innovation system is the instability of government R&D budgets. The ruling party and the government plans to legislate a rule that allocates a fixed share of total government expenditure, for example, more than 5% to R&D. To this end, an amendment to the Framework Act on Science and Technology was put forward. And by ensuring this principle into law, our investment will be secured as a long-term and stable commitment, protected from sudden political and fiscal shifts. At the end of last month, the government announced that the proposed R&D budget for 2026. The next year's budget will amount to 35.3 trillion won, an increase of about 20% compared to this year, while the total government expenditure rises by 8%. This new approach is about more than just increasing budgets. It is about creating predictability and rebuilding trust. Let me now turn to one of the most ambitious and transformative goals of the Korean government. Our vision to make Korea one of the top 3 global leaders in AI. This commitment is clearly reflected in the government's budget for 2026. In the proposed budget, the overall allocation for AI has been expanded dramatically from 3.3 trillion won this year to 10 trillion won next year. The proposed AI R&D budget will rise from 1.1 trillion won to 2.3 trillion won. This strategy focuses on 3 core directions. First, the sovereign AI. Korea is committed to developing its own world-class AI foundation model. This means building independent capabilities that are globally competitive rather than relying solely on external platforms. Second, AI infrastructure. Our nationwide AI highway. This includes providing high-performance GPUs, building large-scale data centers, and establishing specialized hubs. Third, AI plus X. This is about transforming entire industries through large-scale AI adoption. A prime example is manufacturing AI plus X with 7 flagship projects designed to integrate AI into Korea's core manufacturing sectors. Korea is also reshaping its R&D system to strengthen regional innovation capacity. At the center of this effort is a 5 mega hubs and 3 specialist policy, which focuses on developing 5 regional mega hubs and 3 special self-governing provinces. To empower these regions, the government is introducing key measures such as reforming fiscal structures and linking R&D programs across ministries and giving regions a stronger role in decision-making. The regions will also gain greater autonomy to allocate R&D budget according to their own priorities and strength. These changes are designed to help regional R&D not only nurture leading local industries to foster new future sectors, but also develop innovative solutions to public challenges facing communities. In short, by enabling regions to become true engines for innovation, Korea aims to more balanced, inclusive, and sustainable growth nationwide. Korea's strategy for technology-driven growth also focuses on transforming today's key industries and fostering the industries of tomorrow. We'll upgrade our core industries through next-generation breakthrough technologies, such as AI semiconductors, high bandwidth memory, advanced batteries, and software-defined vehicles. These frontier technologies are not only vital for sustaining our traditional strength in manufacturing, but also for ensuring that Korea remains a global top 4 manufacturing power in an era of rapid technological change. Second, we are fostering new growth industries by driving a venture boom. To do this, we'll provide a strong scale of support for promising startups. We will mobilize the venture investment, including the National Growth Fund, the Fund of Funds, and pension funds. In particular, we focus on deep tech startups. Our goal is to nurture them into unions, innovative companies that can serve as engines of future competitiveness of Korea's economy. It is not enough to simply increase the budget. We must also rethink how our R&D system operates, and how it supports researchers, and how it connects with national economic growth. We need to transform the R&D ecosystem. First, we are reforming the operating system of our government-funded research institutes. These institutes have played a central role in Korea's industrial development, but today they face structural challenges. To address this, we will phase out the project-based system, or PBS. By doing so, researchers will gain greater stability and the ability to focus on long-term and mission-oriented projects. Second, we are formulating comprehensive strategies for R&D ecosystem innovation. This includes researcher-centered reforms, such as reducing administrative burdens so that scientists can focus on their research rather than paperwork. To make these reforms effective, the government are also gathering feedback directly from the research community, and detailed measures are now being prepared. And third, we are developing strategies to attract the global talent. Our goal is to bring in postdocs, early career researchers, and distinguished scholars from around the world. The government will provide strong support for their long-term settlement in Korea. By doing so, we will enhance the diversity, creativity, and global competitiveness of Korea's research ecosystem. As highlighted by OECD reviews, one of Korea's most urgent tasks is stronger interministerial coordination in SDI policy. For too long, ministries have developed policies independently, resulting in fragmentation and inefficiency. To achieve true growth, these barriers must be overcome. The key element of this approach is linking R&D planning, coordination, and evaluation with the broader innovation policies. This means the decisions of R&D investment, management, and assessment will be closely connected from industrial, economic, and societal goals. At the bottom of this slide, you can see the organizational structure of Presidential Advisory Council on Science and Technology. A few days ago, President Lee chaired the plenary session of this advisory council. The meeting was live streamed, with the president listening closely to the members' opinions and raising questions on key issues in R&D policy. It was a truly fascinating experience. And I believe that if the president was to hold these meetings more frequently and manage challenges, many issues in interministerial coordination and cooperation could be resolved. And as of now, the government's reorganizational plan has not been announced. But I believe we must strengthen interministerial cooperation. By example, by creating new Vice Prime Minister in charge of science and technology innovation policy. Thank you very much for your kind attention. I tried to share Korea's vision for transforming science and technology innovation policies to meet the challenges Korea are facing. These challenges are not unique to Korea. They reflect the global trends that require collective effort. This made international dialogue and cooperation like what we have in this forum more important than ever. As we move forward, I look forward to deepening our collaboration and working together to build a more innovative and resilient future. Once again, thank you for this opportunity to speak today. I appreciate your time and engagement. Thank you.